Hi everybody, it's me, Jessica Walters, the Health Fitness Program Manager at Miter McLean. I'm here today to lead you through your 45 minutes of awesome mind-body connection. Today we are gonna stay on the floor, gonna keep it chill. Today's practice is great for anyone who's really feeling some stress or anxiety. We're gonna stay slow, focus on our breath, and just have a good time. So, create some space for yourself. Meet me on your mats. We're gonna start in about 2 minutes. We are gonna start in child's pose, but feel free to hang out however you want for the next 2 minutes. Thank you guys so much for coming. Feeling old. Welcome to my super dark apartment, everybody. Super dark. Hey. Nice to see you again, Carla. Mary. It's been a long time. It's been since yesterday. I picked up this giant iced latte yesterday. I'm gross. But when I saw there was like a larger one for like barely any more, I was like, yes, caffeine. And I ordered it and I walked to the market across the street and I was like, I'm here for that large latte. Hey, what's the difference between the regular iced latte and the large iced latte? How many extra shots are there? None. There's just extra milk and ice. Who does that? So if you go to Uptown Market, unless you love extra milk and ice, just get the regular, because they're the same. Travesty. I had to come home and add iced coffee. You guys know how it is. Oh my gosh, yay. Okay, it's 12:15. So, let's go ahead and start today's practice. We're gonna start in an extended child's pose. Yay, so it's gonna be your choice if you wanna have a closed leg child's pose or if you wanna have an open leg child's pose, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Start to send your hips back towards your heels. Start to walk your hands, palms forward as much as feels comfortable for you today. Remember, if your shoulders are feeling a little tight right now, you can take that generous bend of your elbows as much as you need to, maybe placing your head on a block, on a prop, just finding whatever works for you. We're just gonna hang out right here, coming into our breath in child's pose. If you're not having any trouble with your shoulders, I encourage you to just walk those fingertips as far forward as feels good for you today. Bring your chin away from your chest if you can. Maybe your nose is even grazing on your mat or towel. And start to use your breath, and with your exhales, work to find a little bit extra length, stretching through your hands, palms, fingers, and pressing your hips gently back towards your heels. And from here, we're going to start class, just coming into our breath. The same focus on our breath that we would have had in any other class, we're just going to take here in child's pose. Work to slow down your inhale. Maybe feeling your belly, your rib cage pressing against your thighs. Extra relaxation in that lower half. Relaxing your tailbone on every exhale.
free to close your eyes if they're still open. If your eyes are still open, maybe stretching your eyes up in the direction of your fingertips. Keeping them there just to get a nice little stretch of your ocular nerve. Can you breathe so deeply you feel the back of your rib cage expand on your inhale? In through your nose and out through your nose or mouth. If you find yourself fidgeting on the floor, focus your eyes, focus your mind, come back to your breath and really work to find a stillness right here. Great job, everybody. Take a little wiggle of your fingers, a little tap of your toes, maybe a little teeny shake of your bum. Start to walk your hands, palms back in as you stretch your eyes, nose, chin forward. Press yourself up. Just come in right here into tabletop. So you might need to walk your knees in so your knees are underneath of your hips. Get your hands, palms right underneath of your shoulders. Spread your fingertips nice and wide, like starfish. Even think about lining up your ring finger or your middle finger with the edge of your mat. Doesn't have to be actually touching it, just so there's a nice long line right there. All right, start to gently pull that belly in. Make sure you're not wearing your shoulders as earrings. So a press into your hands, palms, a press of that fleshy parts right between the thumb and pointer finger onto the mat. And we're going to take some cat-cow right here. So tucking your chin towards your chest, looking towards your knees, your belly button, pressing your hands, palms into the floor. Enjoy as many breaths as feels good for you up here in cat, and then as you're ready, changing your breath, coming into cow, arching your back, pulling your chin away from your chest, stretching your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling and creating as much space as feels good for you with shoulders away from ears. Try to hang out for at least one full cycle of breath, both in your cat and your cow. So that's an inhale and an exhale. And notice how when you're breathing in these postures, the fuller your breath, the bigger the stretch that you're creating on your back, on your ribs, on your belly. Couple more times right here. Make sure you're not just holding your breath. It's okay to hang out for a second with lungs completely full and lungs completely empty, but notice if you're stretching so much, if the stretch is so deep, and I do it too sometimes, where you just inhale and hold it, and then things start to get a little awkward, and you start to feel a little panicky. No panic, just easy, relaxing stretches that feel good for you today. Last time in cat and cow. And then take your time as you pass through the last cat-cow to come back into your nice neutral tabletop. I'm just going to walk myself forward so I have a little bit of space on the mat. behind me, but you don't have to if you don't need to. We're gonna stay right here and we're just gonna rock our hips gently right and left. So I want you to shift the weight in your knees. Just starting to warm up that lower half, that lower back. Make sure that you're still creating space of shoulders away from your ears. Your stomach is gently pulled in, belly button coming back towards your spine. And as it feels good, feel free to get your upper body gently involved, turning and twisting over one shoulder. I'm really keeping my head in line with my shoulders. I'm not creating any extra twists or cranking or crunching with my neck. My chin is away from my chest. Ooh. Just working to gently decrease that space between my lower rib and my hip. Maybe drawing one shoulder forward and then the opposite shoulder forward. Last couple times right here in this cat-cow, focusing on that lower half. All right. Nice work, guys. Come on back into your stillness. Maybe open those fingertips a little bit wider, pull your belly in. Make sure your hands, palms are underneath of your shoulders, that you're not leaning back or that you're not coming too far forward. Pull that belly in tight. Keep your left leg right where it is, and we're gonna send your right foot back. Just find some placement of that right foot on the floor. Tuck your toes under, working to kind of press the ball of the foot into the mat. I'm just gonna hang out here for a second. While we're here, before we take any other movements, I just want you to engage your back, engage your chest, engage your arms. Find as much engagement as you can. Just hanging out here, squeezing your glute, pressing through your right heel, but doing your best to keep your heel stacked on top of the ball of your foot to begin with. Great, and now we're just gonna rock back and forth a little bit. So you can press up a little bit onto your toes. Head can come forward. Keep that belly pulled in though. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, keep your leg back there. We're going to bring our forearms down to the mat. Elbows just about where your hands, palms have been. You can interlace your fingers if you want to. We're going to go ahead and bend that right leg, or whichever leg you had extended back towards the ceiling. Sole of the foot facing up towards the ceiling. So flex your toes back in the direction of your shin gently. And we're just going to do a couple little pulses right here, just warming up that body. Press your elbows into the floor. Engage your back, belly tight. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Draw that right leg back in. Take a moment, send your hips back towards your heels. This time I brought my legs close together for a closed leg child's pose. Maybe you did as well. Just coming back into the child's pose of your choice. We've started to warm up that upper body a little bit more, so see if you can stretch your fingertips forward. And notice if your chin is tucked towards your chest. And if so, bring that nose towards the mat. Bring your chin away from your chest. A little bit more engagement of the back. Can you use your exhale and still sink your hips a little closer towards your heels? Relaxing breath right here. One more. Once again, take a little wiggle of your fingers and your toes. Walk your hands in. Come back into that tabletop. Spread your fingertips wide, lining up your middle finger or your pointer finger with the line of the edge of your mat. If you're on one, opening up your knees slightly so that your knees are stacked right underneath of your hips. We're going to keep our right foot down this time and send our left leg back, just coming into that plank setup. I'm not even going to make you guys do a plank today, so don't even stress if that's something on your mind. We're just hanging out here in this setup, warming up our bodies. Good times, good times. All right, engage your back, draw those shoulder blades together. Press into your hands, palms. If you're like me and your elbows overextend, You just have to keep that slight bend in your elbows. Make sure that you're not hyperextending anything. And now let's take that little rock back and forth, bringing your shoulders a little forward or closer in the direction of your fingertips. Make sure that belly is still in nice and tight. You can keep your eye gaze gently forward. You just don't want to have your chin tucked towards your chest. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Go ahead, bring those forearms back down towards the mat. If you want, you can interlace your fingers. If you want to be a little bit more active this time, just bring your hands, palms down to the floor with your fingertips in line with your elbows. We're once again going to bend that left, well, not again, it's the other leg this time. I'm going to go back for this. Fingers together, it's a little bit better balance. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Get ready to pulse. Exhale. Push it up. Think about using your glutes, just firing up that lower half, creating some warmth in our body for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Bring that left knee back in. Take one more moment. Send your hips back towards your heels. Stretch those eyes forward a little bit. And slow down your breath. Chin away from your chest. Make sure you still are creating that space. One more nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, walk everything back towards the center. We're going to come back towards tabletop. I'm just going to turn sideways. So if you're looking at me, you can see what I'm doing. Maybe I'm going to talk you through it. All right, coming up next, we have gate latch pose. Yay. All right, so you're going to keep your left knee, left hand, right hand on the mat. Spread those fingertips wide. Find that solid base. Feel free to keep that gentle bend in your elbows. And you're going to send your right leg out towards the side. Bring your toe down and then work to bring your heel down in line with your toe. Use your exhale to press the outer edge of your right foot into the floor. Nice big stretch happening on that inner thigh. Great. You might need to walk your hands in or just pull that belly tight. We're going to lift ourselves up. Pardon me, hairball. And inhale those arms up overhead. Right hand is going to grab hold of the left wrist. Before you find any movement, pull your belly in tight. Press that left knee into the floor. Ground your right foot. Create that space so shoulders away from your ears. Find length on your inhale from your waist. And on your exhale, reach over towards the right side. Try to keep your chest open towards the wall instead of collapsing and looking down towards the floor. So chin is away from your chest like you're holding that grapefruit. Reground that right foot. Use your breath. Take a deep inhale. Find your lift. And on your exhale, find your stretch for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back up to center. And then we're going to exhale the left hand down towards the floor. Right arm stretches up towards the ceiling. Keeping that right foot grounded for just a moment. If planks are a super challenge for you, heads up that this is a great way to work on the strength, to just practice that plank. All right. Next up, we're going to use our exhale to lift that right foot up. Right foot stretching up. Chin away from your chest. Let's find some movement here. Just make some circles with your ankle in one direction. In the opposite direction, we're going to bend our knee and straighten the leg. Bend and straighten. 3 more. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Last one. Bend and straighten. Find that length. Stretch from your fingers. Tug of war in opposite directions. Use your breath. Exhale. Release that right foot down towards the floor. Release your right hands down. Walk yourself back towards the center. Go ahead and walk that right leg back in. Take your time if you need to shimmy it. And let's give ourselves a little cat-cow right here. Nice work. Gonna move over, give myself some space. Make sure you have some space too, because next up is the other side. Awesome. So go ahead, use your breath, extend your left leg out, get that big toe on the floor, and then exhale, release your heel down. Work to press the outer edge of that left foot into the floor, hands, palms. For a moment here, just underneath of your shoulders, just focusing on this deep stretch that you're creating. Breathe through it. Find one spot, focus your eyes, make sure that chin is away from your chest, belly tight, back active. You can walk your hands in if you need to. Lift yourself up on your inhale, reach your arms up. This time left hand grabs hold of right wrist. Take a moment, ground yourself. Right knee into the floor, edge of left foot into the floor, belly tight, shoulders pulled away from your ears. Inhale, find your length from your waist. Exhale, come on over to the left. Still grounding that right knee, grounding that left foot, and making sure your left shoulder's coming forward gently, right shoulder's coming back. Keeping your chest open, keeping your hips squared in front of you. Using each of that breath with your belly pulled in nice and tight, just contracting your abdominal cord. You're going to find that length. And on your exhale, you find a little extra reach. One more time. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, push. And inhale back up to center. Exhale, release your right hand fingertips down towards the floor. Stack one shoulder on top of the other. Just hang out here for just a moment in just our little modified plank. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, lift that left leg up. Oh my gosh. I'm so spatially challenged here, you guys. All right, keeping that belly in nice and tight. Really stretch your left hand fingertips up towards the ceiling. Start to make some circles with that left foot in one direction, in the opposite direction. Keep that belly pulled in. We're going to bend and straighten. And bend and straighten. 3 more. Bend, straighten. 2, 1. Nice work. Bring your left toe down, bring your left hand down to the floor, walk yourself back towards the center. Go ahead, bring that left leg in. Feel free to give yourself a couple cat-cows right here if you need to. This time we're going to open the shoulders a little bit more. Pardon me. Coming into melting heart pose. Or, why am I forgetting the name right now? Puppy pose. Okay, so you're going to start to gently walk your hands, palms forward, just keeping your hips stacked on top of your knees. And maybe you can't get yourself down very far, and that's okay. Maybe this is really uncomfortable and you don't want to do melting heart pose today, and that's okay. You can always send your hips a little closer towards your heels. Find the version of child's pose that works for you. But if you're open to opening your chest and shoulders, really work to melt that belly down towards the floor. An easier option is bringing your head down towards the floor. A more challenging option is keeping the chin forward. I'm going to have to take a little bend of my elbows. Stay right here for 2 more breaths. You're worth it. Pull those shoulders away from your ears, belly in tight. And then we're going to exhale, pull ourselves forward. Let's just come into Sphinx pose. I feel like we haven't hung out in Sphinx pose for a while. Elbows right underneath of your shoulders. Open those feet nice and wide. And when you get there, I just want you to shake your butt. Shake your butt, left and right, left and right. Feel free to open those feet nice and wide for a really stable base. Take a deep inhale. Start to stretch your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling, still pulling shoulders away from your ears, pressing that belly button down towards the floor. Take one more deep breath. And on your exhale, go ahead and make that little pillow with your hands. Place your head on your pillow and windshield wipe your feet right and left, right and left. Let's get into those shoulders again. You guys know I'm like super feeling this like wing of the dove pose or whatever they call it. All right, so you're going to stretch your arms out to the side. Let's do the right side first.
So get your palm down towards the floor, and you want your hand palm in line with your shoulders. It can be maybe like an inch above your shoulders, but as close in line as possible. Think about really gluing your right pec, your chest, your shoulder to the mat. You're going to take your left hand palm right by your left chest part, and you're just going to gently roll over onto the side. If you want, you can keep your knees together. You can even bend your knees. You might find that you like to have, it's an even deeper stretch if you open one leg. Just finding the stretch that occurs in the hand palm, that arm's shoulder. Where can you hang out today? Work on finding that length, so make sure you didn't come into it with a giant crunch of shoulders up towards ears. Two more breaths right here. Nice work. Straighten those legs back out. Roll back over onto your belly. Stretch the opposite arm out towards the side. Draw the hand we just stretched closer towards your chest. Take a moment. Really notice, is your hand palm in line with your shoulders, or are your arms up, or are your arms down? Keep that nice straight line. And then use your breath to roll over as much as feels good for you today. And maybe you're barely rolling over. Maybe this is already enough of a stretch for you. Maybe you can come onto your hips. Just work to relax your head on the floor. Find some length of shoulders away from ears. And if you want to feel it even deeper, coming into a little bit more of a spine twist here. Opening your legs. Maybe you came into this twist and you're like, nope. So feel free to close those legs. Or maybe you just close them a little bit. Just finding what your body needs today. And what your body needs might not look exactly how my body does when I take the stretch. Everybody's different, winkety wink. Nice. Two more breaths right here. And let's roll back onto our bellies and start to get into our hips from right here on the floor. Just a little bit of our hips. And then we'll roll over, do a little bit of work on our abs. All right, so we're gonna go for frog pose. So feel free to kind of make a nice little football stadium arms here, just arms bent. Press yourself over to the left side a little bit and bring that right knee up. Work to get some nice 90-degree angles right here. Inner thigh towards the floor. Toes are flexed, not pointed. The inner sole of your foot is down on the mat. If you need to, you can even make a pillow with your hands palms. Just find what feels good. Oof. Just a gentle little stretch of those inner thighs. One more nice deep inhale. And draw your hands in, press yourself up, gently wiggle that right foot back down. Roll over gently towards the right side, lift your left leg up. Create that nice frog shape. You can use your other toes to help lift your hips up to find the stretch that feels best for you, as much of that inner thigh towards the mat as possible. Make sure your toes not pointed. If you can, flex those toes. 90-degree angle between the top of your foot and your shin and your thigh and your body. Oh, this mat smells terrible. Just looking around. Okay. Awesome. Go ahead, use your hand palm to help lift yourself up.
We're going to roll over onto our backs. Just a gentle roll over onto our backs. Yay. And as we get here, we're going to bend your knees. Bend your knees. Bring your heels closer towards the center line of your body. You might even need to press your heels into the floor. Do a little bit of a glute bridge. Because our goal right now is to really glue that lower back towards the mat. So if you came down towards the floor and you notice there's this big arch of your back, you're going to think about just taking your pelvis and flipping it in the opposite direction, and then relaxing and releasing yourself down towards the mat. We're going to glue that lower back down, this area right below your belly button and your bits. Tap, tap, tap. Just glue it down towards the floor. All right. And from here, you're going to take your fingers, you're going to interlace them, and you're going to bring them behind your head. You don't have to include your thumb. You can even hang out here for a second using your thumbs, giving yourself a nice massage on the back of your neck. Chin away from chest. Find a spot to just relax your eyes. We're going to do some ab work, you guys. Not too many. We're not going to work to strain our necks. It doesn't even matter how high we come up. Our real focus today is just going to be about pulling the belly button back towards the spine, gluing your lower back down towards the floor. And if you take a gentle lift, great. And if all you're doing is working on just finding that tightness, engagement of your abdominal core, that's a great place to be as well. What I don't want you to do is tuck your chin deeply towards your neck or extra strain your chin away from your head. And also, we're going to resist the temptation to bring our elbows towards our knees. So keeping those elbows nice and wide, keeping this beautiful thumb massage, just supporting our neck. Glue that lower back down towards the mat. Glue your heels down towards the floor. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, gently lift, nice and slow. Inhale, down, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, up, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Chin still away from chest, so you don't have to be lifting the whole time that you're exhaling up. You're just coming up to something and you're holding it there for about 4 seconds, down as slow as you can go, and up. Now, if you notice that even doing this, that you feel your lower back is coming off of the mat, I encourage you to just keep your head on the mat and just focus on tightening that core. A little release and tighten. Three more. Make sure that lower back is still glued to the mat. Exhale, lift yourself. If you're lifting, inhale, slowly lower down. Last one. Inhale down. Nice. Go ahead, release those fingertips from behind your head. For just a moment, bring them down by your side. We're going to draw our knees up into tabletop. Do your best to keep those knees stacked right on top of your hips. If doing that brings that arch towards your back, then please draw those knees a little bit closer towards your chest. Remember, every day is different. Every day our bodies are different. All right, so from here, we're just going to continue to work those abs. You have 2 different options depending on what your core strength is. You can either tap one toe down and then come back to tabletop and tap the other toe down. But if you can keep your back on the floor, tap both toes down and lift them up. A middle option is both toes start on the floor, one knee lifts, the other knee lifts, and then you work to lower both down together. Let's do 10. Lower back glued to the mat. 10. Open your chest. 9. 8. Make sure your chin's not tucked towards your chest. 7. Can you keep your knees on top of your hips? 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Nice work. Draw those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice little massage of that lower back. Circles first in one direction, then the other direction. We're going to do a little bit more work on that abdominal core, you guys. All right, so bring those knees back up into tabletop. Once again, bring those fingers behind your head. You can interlace them or just gently press them. From here, we're just going to extend one leg out and bring it back in, and extend the other leg out and bring it back in. Now, if this is already super challenging for you on your abs, you can stay right here, but if you want to work a little bit harder, staying slow, we're going to add arms. So as the left leg extends, right leg extends, left elbow comes up and twist, lower yourself back down. Left leg extends, right elbow comes up and twist. Lower yourself back down. 4 more each side. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, out. Inhale, slowly down. Exhale, out. Point those toes. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, out. Inhale, lower down. 2 more. Exhale. Great. Bring it in. Exhale. Nice work. 1 more each side. Exhale. Bring it in. Exhale. Bring it in. Way to go. Exhale that left leg out 1 more time. Take a deep inhale. Bring your arms up overhead. Reach those fingertips towards your right hip crease. Shoulders away from ears for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms come back up over chest. Knees come into tabletop. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, lift those hands up. Extend your left leg. Hold and reach. Shoulders away from ears. Glue that back down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Release yourself back down towards the mat. Once again, draw those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself that nice little circle of your lower back. Change direction of those back circles. Awesome. Open those knees out nice and wide. And you can stay right here if this feels good for you. If you want to feel the stretch a little bit deeper, we're going to come into happy baby. So you might find that you can only grab the back of your thighs today, only, as if that's not like super awesome. But if you want to get a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can walk your hands up, maybe holding onto your shins, maybe grabbing hold of your big toe or the outside of your feet. I still want you to have that lower back as glued down towards the mat as you can, so feel free to open those knees a little bit wider. Relax your shoulders back down. Pull that belly in nice and tight. Just take a moment here in your stillness. Option to come a little bit deeper into the stretch if you want to, and extend your heels out. Relax your shoulders on the mat as much as you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bring your heels closer together. And then release your feet down towards the mat for reclined bound angle. So one more nice big stretch of your hips. As you get down here, you might find that you need to rock to one side and then to the other to get your glutes comfortable, your shoulders cozy underneath of you. Feel free to bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, and if you feel like things are super tense right here, maybe bringing your hands to your hip flexors and just helping to warm them up, or simply walking your heels a little away from the center line of your body can help to decrease the stretch. Make sure you're not overarching your back here again, so still working to pull that belly in tight, keeping that core engaged. I told you there'd be some core focus today, you guys. Nice, find that relaxed eye gaze on the ceiling or the wall in front of you. Go ahead, stretch your arms out to the side in a T. Palms up or palms down, whatever feels good for you. We're going to come into a spine twist. Whichever side you want to come on first, I'm going to come over to my left side. So I'm going to bring the sole of my right foot onto my left and then just gently drop my knees together as much as feels comfortable, rolling onto my left hip gently, relaxing my right shoulder back down towards the mat, and with my breath slowly turning and twisting right chin to right shoulder. If you want to feel a deeper stretch, you can always lift whichever leg is on top a little closer towards your extended hand palm, straighten out your bottom leg. A little bit more of a twist through your spine. On your next exhale, roll yourself back to center. And you can come into things the same way, either dropping both knees over towards the side, and then deciding if you want to come into an extension of your legs, or if you know what feels good, or you think you know what feels good. Feel free to come there. If you did start with both of your knees bent and you find you could use a little extra stretch, you can draw that left knee up a little bit higher, work to straighten your right leg out. Maybe your goal is just exhaling that left shoulder a little closer towards the mat. Make sure you're still enjoying those slow, beautiful, deep, relaxed breaths. Last two right here. Great, gently roll yourself back to center on your exhale. Go ahead, extend your legs as far out in front of you as feels good for you today. You can keep your legs nice and wide, you can keep your arms nice and wide, or feel free to bring everything in nice and close towards the center line of your body. The closer things are towards the center line, the easier it is for your blood to circulate through your extremities. We're going to finish class together with just a couple minutes here in our final Savasana. If you've had your eyes open throughout the entire class, now is the time to close your eyes, to truly enjoy your stillness. May this be your moment of mindful meditation. Keep your mental desk clear. Just enjoy your breath. everybody. Feel free to stay here in this final Savasana for as long as honors you. If you have to move on with your day, let's take a moment and close our practice together. Find your way back to a seated position. And when you get there, draw your hands palms to the center of your chest. Press your hands palms together. Feel that beautiful warmth in your back once more. Tuck your chin to your chest and take a moment to truly honor yourself. Continue to think good thoughts, to do good deeds, to eat good foods. Thank yourself for taking this time for you to fill your mental cup so you can help spill out your beautiful energy to others. Thank you guys so much for coming. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.